So he's, give me 1 second, is the game drive joining us. Station approaching the Ngala, you can pull in them 4. We've got 1 close to us, the other 3 are all the way along the road, spread out. Lalapanzi. So yeah, when they move again, I'm sure they'll fumble up to Ndlela. So if you maybe want to try and get in front of them. Can you see the others? Oh, sorry, James. Sorry, guys, just the game drive's also pulling in. So just to answer that question again, Valerie and Colleen, he's got a bit of a different mane. I think it'll also mature a bit. I've got a feeling, and again, this is not fact, don't quote me, but just from looking at line coalitions and how they typically develop, that the Mapogos probably came from 2 different litters, or 2 different females. 3 of them would have been brothers, and I think those 3 would be the guy we're looking at now, Blackbeard, definitely Shaka, and then that other guy that I mentioned earlier, the really impressive looking male, for lack of a name, call him Leonidas at the moment. Those 3 are just, they're very similar size, they've got very, very similar facial features. There's slight differences in mane coloration and facial coloration, but very slight. So I would definitely say that those 3 are brothers. Then Mr. T and that other one, call him T2 for now, they look quite similar. They've also got a similar mane. Look at this guy just ignoring us flat, giving us the back end view. They've got very similar mane development, so partly genetic, to answer the question, but also I think they're a bit younger. So they would have been cousins to these 3. They would have grown up together. They would have been kicked out of the pride together at roughly the age of 2, and they would have lived together as nomads until they got to this stage where they have now successfully challenged and taken over larger territories than most males get to do. Look at that mane. He's in good shape. Very, very healthy lion, this. I mean, look at that. So, to finish that question off, I'm giving long-winded answers tonight, but I'm sure I'm trying to basically give you a sort of a broad view of how these things work with them. Those manes will thicken up. They will still get thicker and lusher as they get older, but I do think there's also some genetic link to that slightly comical mohawk that they carry. But who knows, maybe a couple of generations from now, we see a whole lot of other lions running around in the same hairdo, and there's a bit of genetic history behind it. But yeah, Colleen, I think there's certain genetics linked to it, and I also think there's maybe a little bit of a stress factor. Maybe those males have been having a bit of a hard time here and there. As we saw earlier, that T2 has got some hectic scarring going on in his face. So sometimes with severe conditions or severe stress, they also lose a bit of the mane. But make no mistake, they don't have small manes. When you look at them from the front, like we saw earlier with that little bit of a tussle hanging from the other male's mane, they still have beautiful, impressive manes, big mane on the chest and down to the belly. It's just around the ear and the neck area that they're a bit lacking. Not the case with this guy, though. The term mane certainly does fit the bill here. Morris again? Jan, you can please come around me, huh? Get yourself a nice spot somewhere where you can buga munshik. Actually, I might take a chance here. Let's just see if this... maybe not. This guy's coming back. Oh, he's hearing something. Maybe the 5th guy is in the area as well. He's coming back. We're going to see a bit of greeting now, maybe. Keep in mind, these 2 males have been lying separately from each other. Remember, we only saw one of the big manes earlier, so they're only seeing each other again now. A bit of greeting, facial rubbing. Look at that. Awesome. Oh. Come and lie right up against him as well. Light out the way. You can see that right in the other one's face. Now this is a sign of closeness, of camaraderie, of a bond. I was going to say friendship, but friendship doesn't begin to describe this. It is a bond much stronger. It is something that maybe the 300 that fought at the Spartan battles could explain from a human point of view. Oh, he's going to come right next to us here. Look at that. Big scar on his elbow there as well.
See that little sly look up towards you, Pierre? So
Yeah,
you
he
got
did just
that
give me a little peek. Incredible the kind of injury and scarring these animals can cope with.
to give you an idea how close they are to us.
Like James says, I'm a bit in the shadows here at the moment, but they're very close. 6 feet maybe from the front of the car. And obviously very comfortable. Look at that, just drops the head down. Just do it like that. Not a bad place to be, eh? It is, quite often I get the feeling that it's just truly spectacular what we get to do and the way we do it.
Alright.
And I meant that gesture in every respectable way that you can. There was no disrespect meant with it. It's just to show you that we are literally, we are just here. Look at the size of that paw. If I had to open my hand next to the paw, it'll be the same size.
It's like 4 times as thick.
Yeah, I know. A lot stronger. Oh, just heard a sigh there. Once again, just incredible the level of, I don't know if trust is necessarily the wrong word or the right word, but habituation certainly does. These lions have grown up used to vehicles, and that's why they can totally relax on it. This male is sleeping now. I'm literally sitting 6 feet, 7 feet at the most away from his face. The car itself, the front wheel, probably about 5 feet from him. And these lions have been through a lot. The last 24 hours, they've come from a long way away. They've run a great distance. They've attacked and fought with a whole bunch of lionesses. They've killed. They've been injured themselves. They've risked death themselves. And yet they can, after all that drama and trauma, lie this close to us without being too perturbed or disturbed by us. Another aspect of it as well, it is also a case of when we go through trauma like that, it can take us days, weeks, years, lifetimes to get over it. For these guys, it is part of their day-to-day survival, part of their life, part of what they do. Greg, do you copy? Last station, go again. Yeah, Charles, I don't know if you copied earlier, but other two Kahumas joined. There's now 4 of them. 2 Lalapans is still here, Junction, Central, Drakensberg, and 2 are a little bit closer to Cheetah Cutline side, also Lalapans. And then I couldn't quite copy, but I think Greg was trying to get hold of someone from Juma just now. Sharp. Charles, actually your better approach might be from Cheetah Cutline, because 2 of my daughters are lying that way, and that's the way they were heading. So I don't know if you want to try from that side. Also, they're far enough away that it's almost 2 sightings then. Sharp, Charles. Yeah, I'm here with Morris, but when you pull in, if we're too close, I'll pull out.